Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kurja Vihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kurja Vihari. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Dev. Hare Krishna. So, alles vorbereitet? Lena, Lisa? Bitte? Hier, Ruhl hat gebracht. Wo ist die? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I will start and, we have to see. So today we'll speak about Shri Balaram. Balaram is none other. Balaram is none other than Krishna, but at the same time he is not Krishna. This is a very great mystery, and therefore it is very good to learn about incarnations of Krishna or Krishna himself. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse saying, Janma Punar Janma Navidyate Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tatvadaha Taktva Deha Punam Janma Naitimam Eti. So Arjuna. So one who understands my appearance, my janma. Janma is sometimes translated as birth, but Krishna is not born, of course. But we have to understand how was Krishna not born. At the same time, he was born. Janma karma, his activities. What did Krishna do when he was present on this planet Earth? And to understand above all that this is all divyam, or divine, or extraordinary, is out of this world, or otherworldly, sometimes they say. So once we understand how is everything otherworldly or divine, then we will understand the nature of Krishna, then we will understand the nature of this material world, and we will understand our nature, and then by this understanding, we will act in a certain way, and then we will actually desire to go back to this abode where we belong. And this is called spiritual world. In our case, in the case of the Sampradaya, or the school, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, our home is considered Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna resides, Krishna himself, Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Vrajendra Nandan Krishna. Because spiritual world, just like material world, is a very big place. This planet is a very big place. To walk from here to Berlin, it will take how long? Probably 2 weeks? I don't know. It's a long time, And this is just Berlin. What to speak of Japan? What to speak of under the water? So much space. There's a space everywhere on this planet Earth. So each citizen or person who belongs to a certain country or certain area is considering home. Germany is my home, or India is my home, or whatever place is my home. So in the same way, in the spiritual world, we have different homes, you can say, different cities, different, as in Sanskrit they call it loka, different lokas. And so each school, spiritual school, personalist, spiritual school, they accept God as person, they offer their own destination. Like you go to the Zentrum, the traveling agency, and they offer go to Greece for 277 euros. You say, should I go to Greece? Then there's another offer, go to Thailand, or go to whatever, Peru. So there's a different destinations. Each school you can say spiritual school offer different destination. Thank you. That's good. Auntie can drink too. Thank you. So our school, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, offers highest destination, which is Goloka Vrindavan. And in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna is, you can say, the king. He is the boss. He is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And more so, in his, God is very active person. Therefore, the Janma Karma, God is active. God is not inactive. You know, it's not like God sits and meditates all day long. He's very active. And he acts in a manner that we can very much understand as a human being. Sometimes they said in this, the atheists, they say that God is created by the image of man. We live in this world and we think, oh, God must also be like me. But actually it is completely the other way around. We are created by the image of God. And because there are other planets, we know from the Srimad Bhagavatam great book, there are other planets and the people or the personalities there don't look like us at all. The planets of the demons, there's a Nagaloka, planet of the snakes, where everybody's a snake. Imagine, you wake up and in the morning and your neighbor snake, Haribol, good morning, how are you? There are people like this. This is the planet described, Nagaloka. The demigods also, the different personalities, they look differently. Srila Prabhupada says on the sun planet, actually there are also living beings, but they have different bodies. They have fiery bodies. How does that look like? We don't know. Because if you go close to the fire, if you have like 50 degrees, we melt already. What to speak of a sun will burn us immediately. But these people who live there, they have fiery bodies. So in the same way in the Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna has assumed this particular body, which is 2 hands, 2 legs, just like us. And he also enjoys a social life. But it's all transcendental, of course. And to enjoy the social life, you have to have a family. You cannot enjoy social life without family. So this is like a basis of a social life, or social, you can say, happiness, family unity. Because anything happens in this world, there's always family there. Family is always there to protect, to support, unless we mess up something big time. But family is always there to support. So Krishna has a family. He has a father, he has a mother, and he has a brother. And his brother, his name is Balaram, which we will speak today about, Balaram. And Balaram is actually the first expansion, like you can say philosophically, first expansion of Krishna. Krishna is original personality, and from him expands another Krishna, which is the same Krishna, same God, just different role. And this role is to create the whole material universes, to create spirit, everything, basically to make everything. And not just to make everything, but also to engage in Krishna's service fully. So basically, wherever Krishna walks, wherever Krishna does, this is all expansion of Balaram. This is amazing. Therefore, Balaram is called Adi Guru. We heard this so many times. Adi means original or primeval. The original Guru is the one who does everything for Krishna, nothing for himself. Nothing. So this is the role of a Guru. This is the role of a spiritual master who actually engages the disciple in Krishna's service, because even when you engage in Guru's service, this is also service to Krishna, because Guru does nothing else but Krishna. So therefore, when the devotees did for Prabhupada, take his shoes, and then, oh, this is shoes. I clean the shoes of Prabhupada. These are ordinary shoes, but they are shoes for Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was always engaged in serving Krishna. So therefore, when you clean Prabhupada's shoes, you are serving Krishna. So this is like an amazing thing. So therefore, Guru is very important in any school, spiritual school, and particularly now Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, because Guru is actually external manifestation of Krishna. So Balaram, serving Krishna all the time, And it is explained that he expands himself into Krishna's umbrella, Krishna's bed, Krishna's shoes, the instruments that we play. Everything is Balaram, actually, expansion of Balaram. They have this power. So this is a little bit background of who Balaram is. Of course, there's much more to speak about it, but due to the time limit, it's a Monday afternoon after all. So we will speak about Balaram decided one day to go to Vrindavan. And what happened is that Krishna and Balaram were very, very young, and at that time, Kamsa, the evil king, wanted to kill them. This is also another big story which we will speak on Janmashtami Day, how Krishna and Balaram, Kamsa was very atrocious, and he wanted to kill Krishna and Balaram. So he invited them to go to Mathura. And we know Vrindavan to Mathura is around 12 kilometers, I think, something, not so far. But at that time, what it meant is that all these devotees in Vrindavan became very, very attached to Krishna and Balaram, because devotees, pure devotees, are always attached to Krishna. They have nothing, and they want nothing but Krishna. So they're very attached to Krishna and Balaram. And Akrura came by the message of Kamsa to take him to Mathura. So Akrura took them together. And the interesting thing is that Krishna and Balaram, since they are, I think, 5 years old, they always stayed together. It is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. They did everything together, slept in the same bed, playing together, eating together, everything together, not separated. Only when they were babies, they were a little bit separated. Otherwise, always together. So therefore, when we celebrate Krishna, we always sing Krishna Balaram. We have a temple in Vrindavan called Krishna Balaram, because Krishna and Balaram not separated at all. So Krishna and Balaram went together to Mathura, and what happened is that devotees of Vrindavan, they get drowned in anguish of separation from Krishna and Balaram. How could they tolerate? So how can devotees tolerate separation from Krishna? This is impossible. So therefore devotees pray, let it be everything, let it everything be calamities, but just one thing, that I don't forget Krishna. Because if we forget Krishna, this is like the most terrible, punishment we can have in this material world, to forget Krishna. Imagine all these devotees, we are practicing Krishna consciousness how many years? 10, 20, Rishabh how many? 10, 20, 30 years Rishabh practicing. And imagine one day you just forget Krishna, you just walk around, you go to New Delhi and you're doing business. Terrible. This is like the biggest punishment you can have. So therefore devotees can never forget Krishna. Prabhupada gave this saying, always remember Krishna and never forget him. So devotees cannot forget Krishna. But the worst thing, these devotees saw Krishna every day. They played with him every day. The gopis, they played with Krishna every day. The boys played in the forest every day with Krishna. And then suddenly Krishna is taken away from them. So this is the biggest pain you can have for devotee. Take Krishna away. And this pain is called vipralamba, technically. Sanskrit word vipralamba, which means the highest separation. And this separation actually is the highest sentiment in spiritual life, which is very paradoxical. Pain is actually highest happiness. How is this possible? Highest pain is the highest happiness. So until that point, when we come to this point to feel separation from Krishna, we can at least theoretically try to understand. So Krishna and Balaram went to Mathura. So all the devotees are just stunned in Vrindavan. It is described the devotees could not move. It is said when later on, when Uddhava came back to visit these devotees, because Krishna and Balaram actually never came back. What is funny, that Krishna says, don't worry, I'm coming back. 2-3 days, we kill demons, we come back. And everybody thought, okay, 2-3 days, some of it. But they never came back. Hundreds of years. 100 years they did not come back. So first time after Balaram came, long time after. And before that, Krishna sent Uddhava. They were already in Mathura. All these demoniac kings attacked Mathura, and King Kamsa was killed, and all these demons were killed. So they were chasing Krishna and Balaram to kill them and hold the Yadu dynasty. So Krishna and Balaram, they went to Dwaraka, and we have a Dwaraka, fort or Dwaraka. So they were protecting from all these demoniac kings. So they were living in Dwaraka for a long time. So Krishna is known as Dwarkadish, the Lord of Dwarka. And Dwarka, there's a different mood or different atmosphere, or we call it different rasa, different bhava. And this bhava is bhava of Aishwarya, of awe and venerance. They worship Krishna from a distance, and they respect Krishna. Krishna is dressed as a king in gold, and Balaram also. So they were living for many years, and then Krishna felt separation from the gopis. Thank you. And then he would think, oh, I would like to go to sea, but the Yadavas did not let Krishna go. They said, if he goes, he's not coming back, because they know for the love of the gopis was so high that Krishna will never come back. So they had no pretext. No, you have to be here to protect. So they did not give him permission, and Krishna actually accepted their authority. So imagine, Krishna, Supreme Personality of God, accepted the authority. So first, after some time, Krishna felt separation from the gopis and his friends in Vrindavan, and he sent Uddhava, his minister, to pacify the residents of Vrindavan. So Uddhava came, he pacified them somewhat, but not really. And after some time, Balaram felt so bad that we never go back to Vrindavan. So he desired to go back to Vrindavan. So this is where the beginning point of today's presentation. The Balaram decided to go back to Vrindavan, and because he felt so bad separation. How can these people, they love us so much? But also Balaram is also attached to Krishna. So how can he leave Krishna now? Because he is attached to Krishna. So he will feel separation from Krishna. So this is the verse begins like this. Let us repeatedly glorify Lord Balaram. Although he is full of original bliss, he felt pain by his love for the residents of Raja. And he went to see them even at the cost of leaving Lord Krishna. So just imagine how much love is there between these devotees. How much love is between Krishna and Balaram. The Balaram, although is so much love for Krishna, he cannot leave Krishna one moment. He still leaves Krishna because he felt so much pain with seeing so much love, seeing how much pain residents of Vrindavan have towards Krishna. So the first thing what Balaram did before he left is he asked for permission. This is important. He asked for permission. So Krishna, although Balaram is the Supreme Personality of God himself, as such independent, he asked for permission. So I was thinking when I was reading this, why would Balaram ask for permission, Because even in the spiritual world, there's a hierarchy. Even in the so-called spontaneous devotional service, there's a hierarchy and authorities. Because we sometimes think, Hare Krishna. We sometimes think, I'm doing now my rules, I'm following my rules and my regulations. But as soon as I put myself on the spontaneous devotional platform, I don't need to follow any rules. I don't need to follow any rules because I'm spontaneous. And this is in Vrindavan called Sahaja. The people think I can do whatever I like, I can speak whatever I like, I can dress whatever I like. And sometimes I've seen once, a long time ago, the bearded men are dressed in saris. Because, they are the gopis, because I'm gopi in the spiritual world, so I'm practicing. And there was one man, he was practicing to be a peacock. ha, ha. I cannot really imitate peacocks. But. So this is not spontaneous devotional service. Spontaneous devotional service means that we are spontaneously attracted to one Krishna's aspect or avatar of Krishna, but we are still following the rules. It's not like rules are now thrown over. Even Balaram is following the rules, and although he's an older brother, Balaram, as we know, is older than Krishna. You see, today is the Balaram's appearance day, and Krishna's Janmashtami is later on. So Krishna is younger. So as older brother in the Vedic society, he has the preference. So Krishna is supposed to ask him for permission, but Balaram asks because he accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the first thing. Balaram asked permission to go to Vrindavan. And of course, Krishna is very pleased, and Krishna said, yes, if anybody can pacify the residents of Vrindavan, it is you, Balaram. So Balaram goes, and then Balaram travels, and before he enters Vrindavan, he stops. And then what he does, anybody knows what is the next move of Balaram before he enters Vrindavan Dham? No? He changed his clothes. Devotees, sometimes we go in a, as we call it, in pants, and then we come before the temple, and before the temple we stop with the car 200 meters in front of the temple, change our clothes in dhoti and tila, can we say, as a proper Vaishnava entering the temple. So this is the similar story. Balaram changed clothes into, I said, rugged village clothes. Because it's inappropriate for Balaram to enter in this fancy Kshatriya, king clothes into Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a very simple, humble place. You cannot come with the big showy things. Prabhupada, actually, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was once going to Vrindavan, and he was followed by thousands of people. And then they went to, they met Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please, send these people away. You cannot go to Vrindavan like this. He said, in Vrindavan you have to be humble, You have to enter alone with a humble state of mind, not like a king with thousands of followers. So Lord Chaitanya was actually appreciating this comment by Sanatana Goswami. So this is another thing. When we go to the holy Dham, when we go to the temple is also a holy place. This is not different from Vrindavan in reality. We think we go to Vrindavan and this is a special thing, but here temple is just a temple. Temple is also Vrindavan. Here we have a Radha and Krishna, we have a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Nrsimhadev, everybody's here. This is the holy Dham. Because Prabhupada wanted to establish this so-called embassies of the spiritual world. And this is the embassy of the spiritual world. When you enter the embassy, you have actually same autonomy as you have in this country. So when we enter the temple, this is not different from Vrindavan. Otherwise, why do we have deities? Deities are then just a stone. So this is all the property of Krishna, and as such, not different from Vrindavan. So therefore, devotees should always understand this. Oh, I'm going to the temple. I should, dress my nicest clothes. Because sometimes you see people come in shorts, and this is not. Imagine you come in front of Krishna. Krishna sits here, and you come in shorts. It's not appropriate. And also, in the Rupa Goswami Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says that whenever somebody comes to the temple, they should bring something and offer something to Krishna. I remember many years ago, I was in one temple in Chicago, in USA, and devotees, they come every Sunday and they bring so many gifts. The temple, the altar is, in front of the altar is like a big mountain of milk, chapati atta, they bought this big 5 kilo chapati atta, and the temple, and full every Sunday. And the devotee said so much chapati atta that they had the one room just for the atta means flour for chapatis. They had the one room full of chapati flour because the devotees were bringing all the time. That was the custom. But this is the old school Indians. The times are changing, Hare Krishna. I didn't say. I just. It was a tradition actually. The old people, they know. So for Krishna, we always bring something. We always do something. We always do something for Krishna. So Balaram changed his clothes. So another thing is here, when Balaram, we change our clothes, also talking a little bit about the changing clothes. The devotee, we have all different kind of clothes. Man clothes, female clothes, child clothes, this country clothes. I was speaking the other day, also the Indian people, they talk among themselves. We had Indians, the Russians, they speak in themselves, and the few Germans which are left, they also speak among themselves. But actually, these are all designations. These are all upadhis. These are all upadhis. Upadhis means temporary designation. We think we are something, but in reality, we are pure spiritual souls. So Krishna and Balaram, although Balaram changed his clothes, when he looks at everybody, Prabhupada describes here, he actually does not see any difference between this body or this position in society or that position in society. There's no difference at all, because Krishna and Balaram, they look on people as spiritual souls. As such, they're all equal. And therefore, everybody in this material world has an equal chance to make spiritual advancement. Whoever we may be, a child, a man, a woman, or intelligent, not intelligent, we all have chance to actually practice spiritual. What is this?
Just hold water.
Some moment. Anyway, so this is what happened. Balaram entered Vrindavan, he changed his clothes, he entered Vrindavan. Then, when he entered Vrindavan, first thing what happened, he met all these devotees were waiting for him. So Balaram arrived and everybody was greeting him so well. So everybody embraced him. The older Gopas, the older cowherd men embraced him. The older women also embraced Balaram. Interesting. And these are the women who are the age of his mother. So interesting enough, so this is the custom that you don't embrace if you are, the woman actually could embrace if she's on the age of your mother, means she's an older person. But those who are Balaram's age, they did not embrace him, of course. This is not the custom. Then he greeted his parents, and they greeted him, and this is all exchange of parental love. So then his parents spoke. O Lord of the universe. So they understood well that Krishna and Balaram are the lords of the universe. We spoke about Sudama Prabhu yesterday spoke about Jagannath. Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. Water pause. So meaning again, the devotees understand, although we may be even spontaneously attached to Krishna and see Krishna or see Balaram as our friend, whatever our relationship is, still devotees are well versed in philosophy. They know that Balaram is the Supreme Personality of God, the Lord of the universe. So they addressed him, O Lord of the universe, you and your younger brother are always protecting us. Krishna and Balaram, always protecting us. So they raised the Balaram and put him on their lap, and they shed tears. Imagine, Balaram was at that time 100, how old? 100 years old, maybe? 120 years old? And they put him on the lap, my dear child. So this is the parents. They always see their child as child. Although you may be 120 years old. Although we know that Krishna and Balaram are Nava Yauvanam Cha, always eternally youthful. That Krishna and Balaram never looked old, they never had beards, wrinkled faces. So, but still, they're putting them on there. So the next thing is, it is described that they were so happy to meet Balaram. So this is in Sanskrit, it is in Rupa Goswami's Nectar devotion called Sambhoga. Sambhoga means meeting. So there's so much separation between Krishna and Balaram and the gopis and gopas of Vrindavan, and then suddenly they met, and this is like an amazing emotional exchange, and this is called Sambhoga. So this is another point here, what Balaram experienced when he came to Vrindavan. Another thing is what Nanda Maharaj, when Nanda Maharaj was embracing Balaram, Nanda Maharaj was speaking to Balaram as his own son. He did not think like, oh, this is not my son, this is son of Vasudeva, Revat. No, he thought this is my son. Because he considered his brother to be no different from him. And his son no different from his son. So this is like an amazing connection actually between the Vrijvasis. I was just thinking about this. The connection between Vrijvasis is so strong that they consider as one family. So we all want to have a nice, wonderful connection with wonderful family. Prabhupada said, in the spiritual world we will have another ISKCON. And everybody's Haribol, and some people are like Haribol, half Haribol. Meaning, the Krishna family is the one family. When I was many years ago, I had to do something. I told this story before. I had to do, due to some whatever reasons, health reasons, I had to do Rudra Abhishek in Vrindavan. You know Rudra Abhishek? In India, everybody knows Rudra Abhishek. Rudra Abhishek is the Abhishek to Lord Shiva. You do when something's really not going well, so you do Rudra Abhishek to get things like unplugged from your karma. So I did Rudra Abhishek, and during the Rudra Abhishek, they have a bucket of milk or in cloth or whatever they offer to Lord Shiva, and the priest recite these mantras, and then before the priest recite the mantra, he say your name, and then he has to tell to Lord Shiva what is your gotra. And Gotra means your family lineage. In the West, we don't have so much family lineage. And it was before, actually. Before it was valued, like hundreds of years ago, even in the West. But in India, this is very much known. Jai Shishi Radha Krishna. So this is very much valued, and it's called Gotra. And so mostly the Gotra comes from these Shapta Rishis, from the 7 great sages, whatever. You have what is your Gotra? Anybody has a Gotra here, famous? Yeah. Atreya Rishi. Huh? Bharadvaj. Yes, I will speak about this later. Bharadvaj, Atri Rishi. This is like a big Atreya, big Rishis, So we all come from this lineage. I don't know, what was Prabhupada's Gotra? I don't remember. But this is Gotra. So we, in the West, we have no Gotras, So I went to this Pujari and he said, what is your Gotra? And I was thinking, what is my Gotra? But then I remember Prabhupada who says, our Gotra is a Juta Gotra. Which means, just 1 second. Which means our family is Krishna's family. Or we belong to Krishna's family. So Prabhupada says once one Mataji was getting initiation, and Prabhupada says, now you got initiated and you automatically entered the Krishna's family. So this is very nice. Just like here, Nanda Maharaj does not consider, this is not my son, this is my son. This is all one family of Krishna in Vrindavan. So this is what we want. We want to somehow or other be allowed to enter the family of Vrindavan. And we saw in a pastime of Gopa Kumar in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when he finally, after so much journey, went to Vrindavan Dham. And when he entered Vrindavan Dham, he was greeted by Krishna as his own family. He said, where are you? I was waiting for you for so long. So this is the thing. Balaram then met everybody in Vrindavan. And how did he meet them? He smiled with them, he shook hands with them, he embraced everybody. He said, according to age, degree, friendship, or family relationship. So once again, even in the spiritual world, There's a hierarchy. Without hierarchy, it doesn't work. If we don't have hierarchy, this is the level of neophyte devotees. Neophyte devotee. Confirmed. So what happened then? Balaram met everybody, embraced everybody. Then he went to take rest. In India, this is also very important, to take rest. A few times I had a lunch. I was invited by different traditional maths, traditional spiritual schools, and they offer you lunch. We eat lunch, and after lunch, they offer the bed. Then you have to sleep a little bit, isn't it? It's a tradition. You have to take a rest, isn't it, Angelica? So I was surprised first time. I didn't come to sleep, but this is like, no, you have to. So we slept there for half an hour, 1 hour, isn't it? It's a nice tradition, actually. So Balaram also received for everybody. Then he went to sleep a little bit. Then after he rested, then everybody sat around Balaram. We said, now we greet you. You wash yourself, you sleep. Now you can tell us everything. Why did you come and everything? So this is a very nice traditional way of receiving a guest. We don't just immediately guest arrive at the door and you say, oh, what's the news? What's the news? No, you sit here first. This is mode of goodness. The Vedic culture is a culture of goodness. Receiving the guest, feed him nicely. They don't ask why did you come, whatever. Just receive, feed him nicely, take rest, and after that they all gather. Now tell us everything. So the questions are started. Oh Rama, are all our relatives doing well? And how are your children? How are your wives? Do they still remember us? So now they spoke about Yadavas and asking, they remember things, how all the demoniac kings attack Yadavas and how Yadavas protected actually the whole world from this demoniac king, including Vrindavan also. Because actually by running to Dwaraka, this was another hidden motivation, is that they also protected Vrindavans at the same time, because demoniac kings will attack Vrindavan. So they went to Dwaraka so that the kings will follow them to Dwaraka and leave Vrindavan alone. So all the cowherd men, they knew this, and Nanda Maharaj was speaking about this. And they ask, how is everybody? Is everybody fine? And so then everybody's asking their questions, and then the gopis came, the young cowherd girls. So they said, they asked Balaram, how is Krishna? And now they call Krishna the darling of the city women. I don't know how to translate. He's a dear of the Stadtfrauen. Frauen. The Frauen von der Stadt. So he asked, how this Krishna, who is now dear to the city women. Before he liked the village women, and now he's city, And then they said, we have no chance against the city women, because city women are much better dressed. They speak much nicer, very eloquently. And then Krishna and Balaram are very bewildered by these women. That he has forgotten us simple village women. So it says here that according to the Acharyas, there's a commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, commentaries on this canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. And they said that the gopis were smiling, but in reality they were smiling in Unmada. Unmada means divine madness, because they were so much remembering Krishna. Then they asked Balaram, how is Krishna? Is he happy there? Is Krishna happy in Dwarka? And Balaram answered, this is not in the verse, but it's in the purpose of Vishwanath Chakravarti. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a great teacher. He always has some very deep insight into the conversation, what happened there. Balaram answered, how could he be happy there while he's separated from you? How can he be happy? So the girls replied, yeah, but these are the city women, you know. Therefore, he must be happy with them, happier than with us. Anyway, so they spoke about this. And then they asked, when will Krishna come back? You know. So meaning Balaram, although he is the supreme personality of Godhead, in Vrindavan, Krishna is the king. Krishna is the main attraction of love. Balaram also, but Krishna is the main attraction of love. Krishna is the pinnacle of love in Vrindavan. Everybody loves Krishna. So then they ask, when is he coming back? And does Krishna remember our service done for him? Gopis asking. And they ask, the reason they ask this is because, again, the city women, they can offer much better service. Therefore, everybody, nowadays, everybody leaves from the village. They go, who wants to stay in the village and work in agriculture, some young man or young woman. Everybody wants to go to the city, to dress nicely, go to the parties, go to the clubs, big city parties, Who wants to stay and have fingers, how do you say, blisters from the work in the field. So the gopis said, I'm sure that the city women, they offer much, much better service. Our service is very, very simple. We made flower garlands. This is what gopis did for Krishna. Flower garlands. They make fans, what we have, chamaras, fans. Beds and canopies of flowers and leaves. So this is what they made. And they smear his body with sandalwood. This is the simple services of the gopis. So, so this is a very, very simple services. So the service to Krishna is very, very simple. Leaves, flowers, sandalwood. And we see here how we worship Krishna. Also, we don't have a gold, throwing gold or whatever. We just have a simple thing, wood and some flowers. And then we worship Krishna like this. We also offer a little sandalwood. And we chant Hare Krishna. This is our simple service. But Acharyas explain that this actually service is the highest possible service that Krishna appreciates the most. So we should understand also the simplicity of devotional service. The brothers, one of them is left the body in Mayapur, Jananivasa Panganjangri Prabhu. I spent some years ago, almost 8 months, 1 year in Mayapur, and he gave lots of lectures. And every single lecture, he gave, 20 lectures. Every single lecture he repeated this one sentence. Krishna consciousness is so simple, you may miss it. Because you think it's so simple, but actually, and you just think, oh no, I have to do something more complicated now. But we don't need to do anything more complicated. So simple, but we should not, the point is not to underestimate this simplicity of the devotional service. This chanting, this serving, offering obeisances, putting tilak, is a simple services. Offering, whatever services we offer to the deities, chanting in front of the deities, cooking for the deities, eating prasad. These are simple, simple services. But in this simplicity lies the perfection. Another difference is that this devotional service, what I just described, the simplicity, is practiced from the very beginning to the very end in the same way. So new person first comes, stand in front of the deities, clapping, eating prasadam, offering flowers. And the person who is 50 years, we have a Bhakti Bhushana Maharaj, just left today. I must repeat this once again. He was initiated 1 week before I was born. Hari Hari Bol. 55 years ago. Amazing, he was initiated 55 years ago. And what is he doing? He's standing in front of the deities, clapping, just like anybody else. Actually, there is no difference in the activities. So sometimes for the neophyte devotees or Kanishta devotees, as we call them, materialistic devotees, it's difficult to understand what is the difference. I'm also clapping and he's clapping. So I'm also, why is he better than me? But the difference is 55 years. This is the difference. 55 years of doing it. So again, we should not underestimate the simplicity of devotional service. Eating food, prasadam offered to Krishna, clapping, distributing books. Here we have a book distributor. Every Harinam, Rohit, 5 books, 6 books, but these 6 books may change life, may change one life, or may change 5 lives. We don't know. So this is all the services that Krishna appreciates. And this is very, very wonderful. So Balaram was speaking to these girls, and he actually consoled the gopis, meaning he pacified the gopis with their anguish, and he gave them some secret messages that Krishna sent to them. It was not revealed exactly what all the secret messages Krishna gave to the gopis, otherwise they will not be secret. But Balaram revealed all of them, and he pacified them, and he said these messages deeply touched the gopis' heart. So Balaram did some very, very confidential service to Lord Krishna, because this is the more attached we are to Krishna, the more dedicated we are to Krishna. Nilamadava? No, yeah? The more dedicated we are to Krishna, Krishna will give us more confidential service. So this is how Balaram, he stayed for some time in Vrindavan, and then he had also, this is later on, they engaged in other pastimes with the gopis and with Yamuna, and this is when he was drinking this famous drink. I hope you made a drink today. Anybody cook here? Varuni? Anybody knows, did you make Varuni today? You made Varuni? Chai, Varuni ki chai. Varuni is such a drink, it's a slightly intoxicating drink, which I never tasted, because the Varuni is actually coming as a sap from a tree. And Balaram is like a, in Goloka Vrindavan, they don't have shops, so the trees are producing nice drinks. So Balaram just drink from the tree. He says that this is the rain. When rain comes to this tree, somehow by the mixture of the smell of the tree and rain, and creates this wonderful drink called Varuni. So he was drinking this wonderful drink and got a little bit intoxicated. So devotees on Balaram's appearance day, we also make this Varuni, which is, if you drink it in large quantities, can become a little bit intoxicating. Which is lots of, the drink is made of yogurt, sometimes milk, depends, but yogurt, milk, and lots of honey. Usually when I make 50-50. I make 50% honey and 50% milk, imagine. And, and there's some little spices maybe. And then you drink this, and usually throat is burning from so much sugar. And if you drink 5 cups, 6 cups, you will already start a little bit, be a little bit intoxicated. So this is the wonderful day of Balaram. Balaram is Bala himself. Words Bala means strength. Bala is strength, and Prabhupada says in many lectures and conversations that strength is not material strength, it's a spiritual strength. And this, we pray to Balaram on this day, also for material strength, because without physical strength we cannot do anything. So we pray Balaram to physical strength, but mostly we pray for the spiritual strength, to help us keep on going in Krishna consciousness despite this terrible influence of the age of Kali, which goes outside every day, 24 hours a day. It's like a devastation. I don't know if you have watched I was young, I was interested in politics and history of war, and this the Normandy, this Battle of Normandy, when the British were coming to the beach of Normandy, and the Germans were waiting with them, and it was impossible to get out. Huh? Sorry? Dunkirk, yes. It was impossible to get out on the beach from these vehicles, from these boats. And such a dangerous, but on the end they killed so many, but some of them went through, and they went through ultimately and won. But the point is here, this is the material world. Almost impossible. Durga is almost impossible, or very, 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 very difficult. So to conquer the material world is very, very difficult. But we have no chance, basically, against the material world. But by the strength of Balaram, by the power of Balaram, by the mercy of Balaram, then we can somehow keep on going, practicing spiritual life. Because otherwise, where is our strength? We can do push-ups, but it's not working. Or we can eat bio avocado, but it doesn't, will not help at all. The only thing which will help us is to actually chant the Hare Krishna mantra in pure spirit and pure, realization. But again, this does not come by itself. It comes when we please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, today is the very nice day to pray to Balaram. So we should just pray to Balaram. Of course, we have Radha and Krishna also, but we should pray to Nityananda Ram. Brajendra Nandana say, Jai Sachi Sutta Hoilo say, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. I hope nobody's from Bengal here. They say Bolaram, Bolaram Hoilo Nitai. Brojendra. My name is Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, and in Bengal they go Shochinandan. So Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Balaram has become Nitai. So we have on the altar, wonderful, Vijay Gauranga Doal Nitai. So we should pray to Doal Nitai today as Balaram to give us the spiritual strength, to give us intelligence and power to keep on practicing spiritual life and to make the best out of the bad bargain in this material world. So I thank you very much for your attention. Shri Balaram ki Jai. So, next, Nila Madhava. I think we'll have a kirtan now and the Shauki.